So my mother is a Christian. She's ordained a minister, and so, I mean, like that was the first thing. We grew up, and my mom would say, "Jesus is Lord," and that was what you accept. And of course, for children, this comes a point when you have to accept Jesus for your own, versus what your parents say. And one thing I appreciate about my mother is that she never, just told me you have to, believe in God, blah, blah, blah. But she explained why she did, and she lived it. And I think that's the difference. I see in a lot of kids who grow up in like ministry versus, people who don't, and like who have like their parents who teach them versus their parents who don't help them understand it. And so my mom, she would just be like, this is why I wouldn't do this, and this is why. And she would show me, the biblical reference for it, and et cetera. And so when she talked about it and we would have conversations about it and just explain it to me, it just made sense. And then of course, you get in high school and, you meet all these kids who have like their different ideas of what God is and, all these questions. And I was going home with more questions that I couldn't answer. And I was like, man, like I'm trying to defend the faith, but like I don't even know the answer to some of these questions. And so that was a hard time. And I go to Victory Church in Norcross, and we would have these conferences in a sense for the Capitol is what we would call it. And that was like the high school group, and so we would go away and like to like a retreat camp place with no cell reception and have these like weekends. I went, and I feel like I got a chance to be closer to God for myself in that moment, which I think helped grow my faith a little bit more. It's just like hearing him for myself and like hearing his voice and feeling that sense of peace. There was this moment where we got to go to like just spend a couple minutes with like God and like have like this book and just like write and just think and like spend time on your own. And in that moment I felt like I could actually hear God's voice telling me to do something, and like giving me that unction of like doing something. And I know it definitely wasn't me, because I wouldn't have thought to do that, because I'm a little bit of shy to like be bold and like go spread the faith. And I doubt it would be the devil, because he wouldn't want you to go and do that. So, but when I came back, I felt like I was, more renewed in it and wanting to learn more about God. I feel like God talks to me in dreams. And so, like I would dream something and then I wouldn't understand it, but I would explain it to my mom, and then like later it would like come to pass, or like it would eventually make sense, and I saw it ahead of time. There was something going on in my family, and I had a dream that it wasn't very clear, but like it was strange, but I explained it to my mom, and we prayed about it, and like a couple of days later, like our family like financially got help that we needed, and it came to me in the dream first, and so I was like, it was one of those moments where I feel like God was like speaking to me in that way. Yeah. I would say that if you are questioning whether God is real, or if you're questioning whether, this route, is something that you should take, I would say that a lot of people find outlets to, relieve all these like pent up emotions and like dark, feelings that they're having, whether that's through drugs or whether that's through like sexual relationships with other people or, and any other aspects. And there's like this void that they're trying to feel. And I feel like the only way to fill that void is through Jesus. I feel like it makes it a lot easier to feel that empty feeling that you're feeling. Or if you're searching for that sense of peace. I feel like I've found that through Jesus. I feel like we've all gone through those times where we're feeling a little bit depressed. And, and life gets hard. It does. But I feel like when you have God to lean on, and like, I say just try it, like if it doesn't work out, which I think it will, but you can say that you've tried, and you've tried to look at that. I would say don't do it just because other people are doing it. Don't let your faith stay like dependent on other people, but let your faith be because you want to try, and also because of the word itself. People will come and go, but God is forever. And so if you try and you look at the word, and I feel like you just ask God, like, what can I get from life? Like, God, I want to see you. Like, God, will you speak to me? If you just ask that, like, Lord, speak to me. Lord, show me who you are. If you ask him that and you're actually like being sincere about that, I truly believe that God will show you. I think you just have to keep your eyes open to it, God shows himself in multiple ways. But I think you just need to be open to seeing him work, and he will. So I would say if you're, curious about it, I feel like there's a lot of joy in that. You see those people and you're like, why are they so happy? I think that's because they have God, Jesus on the inside. And so I think that's something that you'd want to, experience then. I think you definitely should.